Alright, here we are. We're hot.
This will be the last video of our build series.
We are putting in the ceiling with this material here. We've got one up already. It looks great. And then we'll just be doing finishing touches and getting her ready. We leave in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
It's time to rock and roll.
We're on schedule though.
Yeah, it's about done. And we're on. Okay, so we got a lot of progress done today. As you can see, back behind us, a lot of paneling and trim work all up.
So what we did for the paneling was we started on the ceiling, and that was a pain in the butt. We had to plug the lights in first, rewire them, glue the ceiling, and put it up, all while holding the board like 6 inches away from the ceiling. It took 3 people to do it. It was hard.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way to do it. We struggled. It was painful.
I think what would have helped it is if you would have used a tongue and groove. Since ours was just a big sheet of paneling, we had to cut out holes, but if you had a tongue and groove, you could just do like a half circle, put your light in, you know?
Yeah, well, I think what the main problem is that our wires were going back instead of like right underneath the light socket.
Yeah, because we didn't have the depth.
Because we don't have the depth. We were trying to maximize all of our height, and in order to do that, we had to like space the wiring out. So that was really troublesome, but we got it up and it works. Well, we don't know if it works. It'll be a test to see.
We don't know if the lights work, is what he's meaning.
Yeah.
The paneling works.
So in order to get all these cuts, we used a foam piece to like make sure as a template, or to gauge it as a template. Yeah, it worked. You just had to keep trying and get the right cuts, but eventually it worked, and we got it all up.
To attach the paneling to the ceiling and to the walls, we used the Loctite liquid nails glue, and then we screwed it into the metal. That's what's
or where we had studs.
Yeah, or where we had studs. We should have done a better job of lining up the studs, though. That would be something we would probably change.
But you just don't know before you get into these things.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know.
Our next van will be so much better.
Yeah.
From the walls to the ceiling, we used a base shoe to cover up the gap and the edges and the rough cuts that were there. And then we just used a nail gun and nailed it in.
Yeah, and as you can see right behind us, there are 2 little cedar lath boards that are holding up the ceiling.
We had to do that in a lot of places too.
We had to do that we had to glue it and put that in to essentially clamp it up, because we didn't have any studs in that area to just screw or nail it. So the glue works pretty well once.
My advice for anybody doing this: put way more studs in the walls and the ceilings than you think you need. It just saves you. We were getting lazy when we were doing that, so I would put way more in the wall. You never know where you might need to screw into. Yeah,
we just didn't have the foresight to see or think about where we would need it. Fun stuff. Almost done. Okay, so this is a tricky one. There was never a seat here to begin with. So what we had to do was, first off, unscrew, there was a pan under here that, I don't know what it would do, is just like block rocks from coming up and whatever, protecting the bottom. So I had to go under there, unscrew this pan off so I could have access to just the base metal of the van. So then found out where our holes would be, cut through this black paper and drilled holes into the base of the van. Then I went under there, put this scrap steel up, found out where the holes were, made a mark, and then we took this out, drilled holes into these. So then we took our grade 8 bolts and nuts and essentially bolted it down with a Loctite washer, and now we're good to go. Now we're good to go. We have a seat finally, and hopefully it works out. I'm not sure how well it moves. Did you check it?
No.
I guess this is the moment of truth. And it spins all the way. That is badass. Yes.
John can just stare at himself in the mirror and sit in the chair.
Looking good, man. Yeah, look at all those dirty arms you got, dirty hands.
You're a man.
I'm a man. I'm a man.
Met a fellow van lifer in Nebraska at Ace Hardware. So John invited him over and he just checked out our setup. And now John's checking out his.
Don't get too comfortable, buddy. Do you want a new cat?
I guess he likes it here. She's like, what is that?
So moving on to finishing our table and countertop. A couple weeks ago I sanded them all down and I got them all ready. Since then I've sanded them again and again to just make sure that we got everything, all the live edge off, all the little roughs and whatnot gone. And then after I sanded it, I took a damp cloth, I might just use a paper towel, and I wiped them off so that there was no sawdust left on the table. Then we proceeded to use a butcher block oil. And this stuff, we just took another rag, you just kind of goop it on the rag, or sponge or whatever, and you just rub it with the grain, and you literally just put 4 coats of that on. So we just kept doing that. You let it dry, and then put another coat on. So we started to rub the oil on, and you can totally tell the difference. Like, that's with no oil. And look at all those colors pop. So it's all oiled up. Then I just put the first coat of this on, which is Butcher Block Conditioner. It's like the same brand as the oil. And so I just did the same exact thing. This is a little bit thicker and it leaves a little bit of a thicker coat on there. And again, I'll do 4 coats of that, letting it dry every 20 minutes or so, and then add another layer on. And that's about all we'll do for our tables, and then we'll be able to, we're not necessarily going to cut on them, but at least it's food grade and ready to be used, eaten on, all that. So we're beginning to lay the floor. There's the first piece. We're using this adhesive, and you can see we just take a paint roller, roll it on the floor, on the plywood, and then on the back of the tiled pieces, and then you just stick it down. So we just are gonna keep rolling and sticking. It's basically just cut and paste from here. So.
All right, so I want to show you guys my favorite addition to the van. It means so much to me, and it's near and dear to my heart, that I'm so excited that we got it. It is a Metolius hangboard. It's a training tool for rock climbing, because in Nebraska, obviously, there's no rocks, so I can't climb at a gym anywhere besides here in Lincoln. So what I can do is get my hang on and strengthen my muscles in the van. Yes. When you have a hangboard, you have to put a mounting board behind it. This is just a 3/4 inch plywood. What was tricky about this is there, as you can see here, there's a lip and then it goes straight up. So what I had to do is rip down a 2x after finding the angle, and then I put that up. I drilled it into the frame. Then I put our plywood on behind it and mounted that to where we had studs and to here, and now it's pretty nice and sturdy, so I can hang on it. Get my pull-ups on. I gotta raise my legs a little bit, but I can hang here and get some training in. So I'm stoked about it, and I know Nicolette's stoked about it, because we're still gonna train on the road.
Okay.
So what are we talking about?
We're done. Literally, we're done.
Yeah, it's complete, except we're not done. We have to eventually put our batteries in, our battery bank.
We're done
solar
for now.
power. But as far as the whole interior design aspect goes, yeah, we're done. It's a good feeling.
We've done all the finishing touches, like I hung my plants, we hung the little fruit hammock, mounted the spare tire on the back, we did all the screens.
Did
we
you
got
show
all
them
the
what?
pillows in. Huh?
Did you show them everything?
That's why I'm going to insert all this. You just ruined that.
Oh. Oh.
What else have we done? We hung the picture of Lily. What else did we do?
We hung the hangboard.
We hung the hangboard.
Don't forget about the most important piece. Did
We...
you talk about the flower boxes?
Did you not just hear me say that?
No. I'm really bad at listening
We
sometimes.
hung the fish.
When I'm multitasking, holding the phone up.
We got our pillows in here. I got the bedding.
What's that say? Follow your dreams.
We just added the last finishing touches, and now we're done. We're ready to roll. Ready to rock and roll.
It's exciting. So, tell me how you feel.
This place makes me happy. Like, I've been down here so many times just to, like, check in it, see if it's still here, see if it's still real.
Still here.
Like,
It's totally real.
yeah. So John likes to take 12-minute naps after work.
Sometimes they go up to 20.
But John took a 12-minute nap yesterday, and I came down here, and I just laid in it. It was so great. I love it.
Yeah, I'm impressed. We did it.
We did it.
You did it.
No, we did it.
We did it. Now we're on the road.
Well, we hope you guys tune in, watch our journey. We're going through Nebraska first. We're going to be gone for 6 weeks on a fly fishing excursion, traveling to all the freshwater streams throughout Nebraska.
Cold water fisheries.
We'll be writing and photographing for Nebraska Land.
And we've partnered up with Sage, and we'll be writing or creating content for them as well.
And Rio and Reddington.
Sage, Rio, Reddington. Yeah, if you know anybody that wants some articles done on the state of Nebraska, maybe some, hidden gems of it, we got you. I show off my big muscles as I'm holding this phone for so long.
Oh, yeah. Look at
Oh, look at those arms.
Can't really see them.
Yeah, you can.
Should I make the shirt tighter?
Look at that definition.
Adios. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
How do you say goodbye in any other language?
Ciao.
It
Au
always
revoir.